Neo City rain fell like static, thin, relentless lines slicing through billboard light. Rooftops sweated steam. Drones hummed above like metallic gnats, watching a story they weren't authorized to understand. ExGa11aD0n stood alone on the slick ledge, 5'7", of compact menace wrapped in a torn cloak, red eyes glowing through a sealed mask. The katana at his hip, ExGa11aD0n, pulsed faintly, like it was breathing heat. Across the roofline, something heavier landed. The structure groaned. Vy3g0Zi11 rose to full height, 10 feet of combat geometry. Its frame was lean for a war machine, built for agility, not just intimidation. A long saber katana, ExGa11aD0n, angled down at its side like a judgment. Its left hand rotated with a mechanical click as the N3rth0u5 9-3 cannon unfolded, barrel locking into place with a sound like a coffin latch. No speeches, no warnings, just the quiet agreement that only killers understand. One of us ends here. Vy3g0Zi11 moved first. Explosive, Muay Thai footwork made monstrous. It crossed the rooftop in a blink for something that big, throwing a left kick that would have folded a car door like paper. ExGa11aD0n slid back half a step. The kick hit nothing. A fraction of a second later, the cyborg appeared beside the robot's ribs, like the world forgot to render him until the last frame. ExGa11aD0n flashed. Clang. Scrang! Metal screamed. Sparks burst like bright insects. Vy3g0Zi11 twisted with inhuman timing, catching the blade with ExGa11aD0n, locking steel on steel in a shower of white-hot friction. The robot's cannon whined, charging. ExGa11aD0n vanished. The shot fired anyway. An angry beam that tore into rooftop machinery, detonating an AC unit into twisted shrapnel and steam. For a breath, Vy3g0Zi11 scanned the rain. Then the red eyes ignited behind it. ExGa11aD0n's cloak snapped as he struck low, cutting tendons of metal, targeting joints and load points. Vy3g0Zi11 answered with brutal Muay Thai. Elbow spikes, knee slams, a clinch attempt designed to crush a spine that wasn't fully human anymore. A forearm hit ExGa11aD0n's chest plate. Boom! He skidded back, boots carving water trails, armor ringing like a bell struck by a hammer. Vy3g0Zi11 followed. Clean combos, machine precise. A knee to the ribs, a back fist that made the air pop, a heel stomp aimed at the head. ExGa11aD0n blinked out at the last instant. The stomp cratered the rooftop, concrete splitting like cracked ice. The cyborg reappeared above, dropping like a blade. ExGa11aD0n drew heat. Not orange, not red. A thin, terrifying white glow. The kind that says this isn't just fire. This is physics losing. Vy3g0Zi11 raised ExGa11aD0n to block. And the block held for half a second. Then the edge began to sizzle. Steel met steel, and the rooftop became a forge. ExGa11aD0n could cut tungsten, meant to shear the hardest metals like meat off bone. But ExGa11aD0n wasn't playing the same game. It wasn't trying to be sharper. It was trying to be hotter than hard mattered. Vy3g0Zi11 shoved forward, powering through with raw torque, forcing ExGa11aD0n to slide. Rain boiling, where ExGa11aD's aura kissed the rooftop. The robot's left hand snapped up. 0C-T93 fired point blank. ExGa11aD0n turned invisible at the instant of impact. The shot punched through the space he had been, carving a molten groove across the roof and blowing neon-lit debris into the air. Vy3g0Zi11 spun. Tracking fast, ExGa11aD0n reappeared in the robot's blind angle, blade already moving. SHHK, Kra-Arch. Not gore, just catastrophic engineering failure. A deep cut through armor plating, wires flaring, red warning lights stuttering beneath the shell. Vy3g0Zi11 answered with a left elbow that caught ExGa11aD0n's shoulder and sent him stumbling. Then a saber slash that shaved the edge of his cloak and tore a groove into his forearm plating. For the first time, ExGa11aD0n's feet planted hard. For the first time, he didn't drift. He anchored. Rain thickened. He didn't swing for flash. He swung for function. ExGa11aD0n kissed the robot's saber. Just a touch. ExGa11aD's edge glowed, heat creeping across it like infection. The Tungsten-Cutter didn't dull. It overheated, warping microscopic geometry that made it lethal. Vy3g0Zi11 reacted instantly, switching to Muay Thai, driving a knee toward ExGa11aD0n's core. ExGa11aD0n took it, armor absorbing the worst, and used the contact like a tether. He grabbed the robot's cannon arm, pulled, and stepped through. Kanzoe Allen rose, heat tightening the air. N3rth0u5 tried to disengage, servos whining, footwork resetting, cannon rotating for a desperate shot. ExGa11aD0n moved at light speed, not as a blur, as a missing frame. The blade came down in a clean, controlled arc. Not messy, not theatrical, just inevitable. A single strike across the core housing. A white flash. Steam detonated outward in a ring. The rain around them hissed like it hit a stove. Vy3g0Zi11 staggered. Its cannon arm drooped. Its saber slipped from its grip and clanged across the rooftop, skidding through puddles. The robot stood tall for one last second, trying to command itself to keep fighting, before the power in its frame flickered and died in uneven pulses. Its eyes dimmed, then went dark. ExGa11aD0n didn't celebrate. He simply turned, cloak dragging through rainwater like a shadow being erased, and stepped to the ledge. Behind him, Neo City kept humming, advertisements blinking, drones recording, civilians unaware. He vanished again. And the rooftop, for all its lights and cameras, looked empty, as if the fight never happened, as if the city forgot him on command.